A fantastic start that was for PRX. I'm now joined by their head coach, Alex. I know your players don't like to be overconfident. They're not the kind of people to say, like, we've got this, we're 100% going to win, we can bring the trophy home. But how is it they're able to pull off that performance? And surely if you carry on playing like that, Alex, it's time, right, to be confident about this tournament?
I mean, we're going to try, but how do I put it? I think, yeah, we have to clear this game first. We need our lifeline back. You know, we wanna make sure that we go into some kind of upper bracket where we can like mess around a bit. We just taking one step at a time.
And you happy with that performance?
Yeah, of course. I'm delighted. I thought it would be a closer game for sure.
All right, best of luck on map 2 and hope you close this out.
So did we. So did we, Coach Alex. Honestly, I was expecting EDG to come out of the gate swinging over here, but PRX just shutting it down. Let's actually dive right into this and talk about a Verizon high-speed moment. This one is going to be going to PRX over at round 9. You had something in Mind Freak, just putting together a series of kills, and wow, unreal stuff.
And they're the guys to close this out, but I feel like this was indicative of so many rounds this game. PRX had a simple game plan. A lot of A hits, pop down the Sage wall, get into a post-plant position, and I feel like this was defined by a lot of EDG mistakes on the fundamentals on the retakes, and PRX individuals taking every opportunity given to them.
When I was watching this game, it almost felt like EDG didn't even have their headsets on in order to communicate with each other. There were so many instances where they were in the same vicinity as each other, but they didn't kind of move together, peak together, and a lot of the situations came down to, like, even if they would get some kills, it was off the back of an individual, and there was no capitalization, there was no trade potential, and I lost track of how many times Chichu was in a 1v1 or a 1v2. It had to have been at least 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. And most of those ended up going the way of PRX. I think it was mostly those A anchors as well, where you'd see players flooding in to try and help that A anchor out, and then the way the players would come back in, it would be like swinging after the anchor player had died, then going one by one. So many mistakes from EDG, but I mean, credit to PRX. They had a pretty simple game plan with this composition. They executed on it well, and they didn't start slow, crucially, which has been a bit of a trouble for them as of late.
The tried and tested Go A, like 12 rounds in a row, basically, from 2020, as soon as Icebox got released, is still in full force here. And one of the worrying things is that we talked about how PRX had these slow starts in these other 2 series that they had, and here they're coming out swinging. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're singing,
apparently.
Or what? You know,
I think it was a beautiful song, personally.
Yeah, honestly, a voice of an angel. And when we see this, now the question is, wow, okay, even if EDG can mentally reset to bounce back in this, is PRX feeling so confident right now that they're able to just continue this momentum into the next game? Or are they going to get a little bit complacent, a little overconfident, and start, you know, giving up some of these situations? This is basically, is this the mental block coming in? We briefly touched on that.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, it could be EDG has only beaten this team once before, and what has to be fresh in their memory is that 0-2 loss at Shanghai, losing in front of their home crowd, getting eliminated there. If things keep up the way they're going, it's looking like EDG might befall the same exact fate to end their year, which would be a real tragedy for these guys.
Yeah, it absolutely would be. I know everyone wants to see this matchup go the distance, but does EDG have it in them? Let's go ahead and see what's going on over at the EDG campus. We have Muggle standing by with Yinsu.
I have Coach Muggle here from EDG with me and Luna to do some translations ahead of map 2. Now, Sunset is a map you probably could have predicted. PRX, they love to play this map. So what kind of preparation did you make against them coming into this?
其实之前可能能预想到 PRX 他们会玩日落之城这张图，因为他们就很喜欢玩嘛，打得也很好。那你们之前有做过什么准备吗？为了今天这张图？
我们也是预想到他们会选这张地图，然后就是针对他们之前的习性，我们有我们的调整。然后，但是我觉得他们打的我们每一次都会跟打别的队伍不一样，所以我们觉得，有些这个可能更重要的是临场的调整。
I think we have already predicted that, but you know, target on their hobbies on that map. But we also feel that they always change their strategy when they faced against us. So we maybe just deal with our instinct reaction.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much, Luna, and best of luck, Muggle, on map 2.
Well, interesting that he says, you know, they changed their strategy because, honestly, they just kind of hit A bunch of times. So, I don't know, that makes me a little concerned a bit still going into Sunset.
I mean, Sunset, you can reset everything and change whatever didn't work on that first map. You can be like, well, you know, this is what we kind of had in mind, and now it let's throw that out the window and go back to what worked before.
The thing is, PRX might just hit A lot again with this comp. This stage comp is also very exec heavy. They have a very similar game plan on their attack, but their defense is a lot more defined by the set retakes. They have a ton of initiator utility with the breach and the gecko, and that wall is such a powerful tool to block off the plant while you have slow orbs in the smokes. It's really brutal to play against.
A lot's going to come down to Simon's KO and just making sure that the timing of his knife and his ultimates are going to be really good to disrupt how this goes in. So you trade out that initial set. PRX is using that slow and the smoke to start moving the site, wall to defuse. Okay, stall them out with a paranoia and then stall them with a knife on top of that. That's has to be on point.
EDG has always been the team synonymous with their region who has found the heights for China in the past. Now Trace has gotten their upset, they've made their way into the playoffs, and against an old foe after getting stomped on map 1. If EDG can't bounce back here, it might be the end of an era for this team. Their year would end with another disappointment.
Couldn't agree more, Mimi. EDG needs to wake up. Can they do it on Sunset? Let's go ahead and send it back to your casters, Brennan Sideshow, for the call.
Yeah, it's a mountain that they're going to have to climb, isn't it, here for PRX? When they're looking like they're in this kind of form, they're a scary, scary team, and they have that tendency, I think, to evolve over the course of tournaments, you know, to become this team that nobody was really expecting to do much damage, but they just end up taking out the big names anyway. And here, on a map pick of Sunset for PRX, looking at the pistol round, it looks like they may be shoring themselves up for a little bit of aggression down mid too. Have to wait and see. Could also just be a hold for contact peak.
It could easily be a hold that then becomes a push to try to find the lurker as well. They've got multiple options here depending on the pacing. They know that EDG 4-1 all the time.
Yeah, the old
Shishu hard lurks.
And quadruple high-low. Not getting past that. As soon as they see the cam as well, now start moving together. As I said earlier, there's nothing scarier than PRX when they're a hive mind. Chichu barely alive here. He's still being ran down here with a fault line. Still, there's that pressure applied to him. No bodies, though, chasing him. It's EDG recognizing that, and they're going to make sure that they take the space over towards this A site. Nobody has the spike, though. They can't even get themselves on to plant this one. And a fast fight once more. Something's into the fray. A skirmish taken. And PRX raiding the day.
Spike down A.
They didn't even let the plant get close to going down.
Mighty.
That's pretty perfect in terms of an anti there. Flush Chishu out, make sure that he can't have impact in the round, though he'll attempt to win the 1v4. But you got no chance in that kind of position. They push Chishu so far back, he will never get that timing to lurk behind them before PRX have initiated the retake. And even so, they fight the pre-take before the plant is even close. Like you said, it was on nobody, and he was bringing it in way later than the rest of the team.
Miles away, right?
That is a beautiful pistol to run against a team that likes to 4-1 all the time. And you look at this map, I know as the agents were being selected there and we were going into Sunset, everyone could see the stats, the recent stats anyway, of EDG being on a 3-map win streak on Sunset. But the one right before that, they lost to PRX in Shanghai, 6-13. And that was what forced EDG to make this shift over to playing the Team Heretics comp.
EDG might just be stunted and stopped in their tracks once more.
Cage triggered.
This tournament here of champs. Fight to be taken. It's a double flash and a swing. Through and out here with a U-tilt. Doors opened up wide. And players dropped in their place. PRX really do survive into it, so going to be able to get themselves a nice and healthy bonus.
Yeah, not bad by any means. EDG, even if they get into post-plant positions, are going to have to be playing aggressive. You just can't fall back into those standard busted post-plant spots when the defending team is running a wall that can block you off and then wingman that hops on, and then they all push forwards apart from the diffuser. It's really difficult. EDG are going to have to be pushing in post-plant, setting up aggressively, crossfires on site. It's tough. It's so tough playing against PRX on this map, as their last 12 wins in a row should indicate.
Sunburn, judge in hand. Doubled up. I feel like there's so much danger just drifting over towards this A side. The camera's removed. PRX do not shy away from a fight. But the slow play by EDG. Looking to reap the rewards from this. Smoggy. He was jiggling it. Barely a shoulder peeking out, but now head's turned away and just barely missing it. Forsaken's already rattled off the shot. Chichu, who was there? Forsaken definitely overstaying himself, but slow orbs, lay it down through B main. EDG still with a minute of time to play, work with. They can take their time with this one. The longer they do it, the more risks that PACIFIC themselves are going to take. Devi's getting a pretty good idea right now that EDG are still locked into place towards the V site.
Something's just holding with the judge on the other side of the map. Mindfreak not cleared.
Yep, steadies his hand as well. Just leaves it fully open towards the back of the site. Just gives that one up because he's not being cleared. And Patience fully paying off potentially there. This guy holds it down. With the Bulldog. Squirrels it away and just grabs 2 kills before he's eventually traded down, and a chance. There's some life into the round here for PACIFIC. Dizzy up and over through the window, but no connection, no acknowledgement. Devi is there. Lovely movement from Kang Kang. Sidesteps the bullets. Ensures that he's favorited in it. It's exactly what Something is not with this gun in his hands.
I think the gun differential has made a big difference in this round. Something's kind of stuck. Don't really want to be saving the judge either. I think it's kind of similar with Mindfreak. I think if he hadn't had a Bulldog, there's a serious chance that he could have gotten 3 there rather than 2 in that kind of position. Oh, more damage done.
And a rifle, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice little surprise.
Good economic impact there from PACIFIC, but a round on the board fairly early on. Already almost as many as they got in the entirety of Icebox. They'll be hoping for an extraordinarily different result here. That's worrying that EDG, none of them thought at all. But the thing is, once the first 1 or 2 people have gone in, the others just don't even think to check spots like that, because why didn't the people at the front do it?
Exactly, and also, I mean,
it would have been clear
earlier.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Devi. He's got the operator in his hands.
Of course he does.
There's a lot of players that might be facing him here. Tripled up, tagged up by the knife.
Well, if I tagged Devi, I wouldn't expect an op. Maybe for something. If I tagged the Gecko, I might be thinking op.
My ult's ready.
Push back here over towards A main, so Ching's got that showstopper now into this round.
Right here.
It's got to be clean from EDG.
Yeah, they really need this. Credits on Kang Kang, Nobody, and Smoggy. All really low. I guess Kang Kang could scrap something together with the ult that he's got online, but it would not be pretty. The showstopper's quickly making its way over to B, responding to that drone, picking up a little bit of a potential lurk play through mid. Jing is here, and this is where the spikes go in.
Caution.
Yeah, I was a bit worried as well. Devi was holding down towards the B side when the drone was used prior, but knife towards the back stuns as well. Here's a showstopper, it's an instant response. Flashed up though, Jing. He's blind as a bat. Had to let loose there with the ult. No casualties, a slight pause being called here by EDG, but honestly, might just end up falling anyway. Shots missed, EDG, the feed is filled up with red. Making sure to grasp these chances. Jing still managed to slip his way in through the back. Sharp as anything. Precision is on display, and time now against EDG. It was looking like them to take this one. Oh my god, backs have just opened up to these players. Jing working his way around, and Chichu covers.
Bizarre, some of the moments in that round. Really bizarre. I do like the call from EDG to go for a re-hit. As soon as the showstopper was baited out by that high flash and did not catch onto Kang Kang, they had the route back through. Forsaken, I think he just didn't hear Chichu barreling back towards him, throwing cages at his back and all sorts.
I mean, in the chaos of the situation.
If Forsaken had just taken a breath there and turned back around to deal with the lurker, maybe that's a different round, but EDG will be super happy to get that one on board. Big eco swing round going the way of the Chinese orb.
Back to me.
PACIFIC looking to try and take this round with a bit of proactivity on their half pipe. Vacuum up the orb, see if they can get a cheeky kill. They show presence, they back away now, looking for the stack into mid. And I think the signs of a really great team at events is when they're trying to really extract every efficiency out of even half by rounds. Forsaken with the peak will be punished. He was trying to grab that information. The rest of his team So an open site here for EDG.
Forsaken not using his Aftershock to break the trip over towards A main, so PaperX keep walking down mid and taking some tiles control, but they can never flank in the retake, because that trip's always going to give it away. They might try it at some point in this half, but it will be watched.
Oh, that's lovely control. Kang holding the line towards the back of the site, ensuring that nobody can cross past that boundary. Even hunt a few more players down. Hello. Giving up guns.
Yeah, this kind of damage is not great for EDG. This should have been their round to get the economy blooming.
They'll still take the round, of course. PaperX will be happy with the rifles.
And it's not too much damage. EDG players can still buy. It's not a big issue. So they take the lead. Exactly what EDG were looking for early on here. Of course, they'd have loved the pistol round as well. But in terms of getting themselves cemented, shaking off all of the horrors of Icebox and leaving it like a bad dream behind them in the past, they've now secured as many rounds as they did in the entirety of that map one. And the players, I think you can see there from Kankan's perspective, they're looking fairly sharp themselves.
Yeah, they bounced back nicely.
Yeah, he was just farming the ecos there. He's got to do that with rifles online as well.
That's the round we're going to be watching here. Round 6. With the economy equalised a little bit, Kang is stepping up to that challenge. Divide. Rounded about there, he had Mindfreak by his side, and that's a no command going into the B split. This is putting the squeeze on the Mindfreak. Look at him head on a swivel. Doesn't know really which way to look, but still tucked to the corner. Could be trying to strike straight back, but no. EDG got that discipline and awareness. Was there for them. Door busted and broken down, but Choo-Choo's there holding the cross. Making sure to chop up these angles. Nade rebounding to try and clear the way for PaperX to potentially get anything going for them, but it will be another round for EDG.
Sharp shooting from EDG, but badly synced up in terms of how they were fighting into market. Something way ahead of Jing and Forsaken, miles behind. The spacing could not have been poorer. So EDG gifted with a slightly easier cleanup, but the open was lovely. They can't do that all the time, of course. The null command, massive ultimate. But utilize well to keep this lead going and to break the economy of PaperX, unless they choose to go to force around this saved Vandal, but I'm not so sure it's going to be saved.
Oh, I mean, it will... Oh. Fault line to slow them.
Whoa!
No!
How's he got none of that?
Hey, man!
He just moonwalked out of there!
That's ridiculous. Houdini level plays.
He's been learning from something. That was the some swing to save. What's going on there? The save swing.
They might be able to buy up around that one.
They absolutely can buy up now. They had two players that could comfortably buy, and then another two that were scrapping it together, plus that saved weapon. Easy stuff.
Yeah. Off the back of that round, with EDG winning it.
How has Forsaken got such a powerful aura that they don't even shoot at them?
I don't know.
I need to get that in my rank games.
They just weren't expecting them there, I'm not too sure. But this is 4 in a row now for EDG to get us back on track here with the game at hand. And we said, you know, we're going to need to see that strong opening from EDG themselves on a map that we were kind of just raring to go to sing the praises of PaperX on as a potential slam dunk 2-0 finish here. But they are showing those signs of life. They've shown that they will pick themselves back up when they get knocked down.
A really important asset to have. Now, what does the second G stand for?
Goat.
The first, oh, it's goat goat.
It's goat goat, yeah.
Smo goat goatee.
Of course.
Lovely. Rolls off the tongue.
Yep.
Yeah, PaperX are in a bit of a tough spot here. They haven't been able to play their game, really. They've been looking to try to set up these big retake scenarios where EDG are in more passive spots. And they've been looking to try to take fights through mid. But ever since the pistol round, Jishu's been extremely cautious.
Yeah.
He hasn't been taking very much of that space in mid, unless the whole team is splitting.
Shutting them down.
EDG are showing really good signs that they understand how to control the tempo. They're not getting sucked into the fights.
Yeah, and they're also showing, I think, good awareness of how PaperX wants to take this map.
Yeah.
And denying it from them.
PaperX are set up with a trap play off of Jing's contact. It's just jiggling.
I don't like this, though. It's very, very difficult to follow up on any of these kind of trap plays unless you have a showstopper. It's just...
They want to go for it anyway. Paranoia does connect. But again, like you said, it's very difficult to follow up on any of this unless Nobody, and Chichu, are willing to give them the fight for it with a smoke.
At the same time, you're at least still closing off B main, so you know you're putting another stall into it for the attacking team. But EDG were not fully committed to B. They were split, and they feed that information over to the other side of the map and quickly take elbow.
Yeah. It's the benefit of running that slow default here. Something that is... There's no way. This is... Oh my! The Damon up close! There's no saving him. So what? No bullets landing, and now defended! Simon comes to his rescue. PACIFIC willing to try and fight over this one. They don't want to give up this territory, and with the doubled up discipline, showstopper, round and a bound. That's a kill. Claim for Jing. Anyone's game here, at least it should have been looking like it, but PACIFIC, they just swarm into the site.
It's an absurd spot to go for a Thrash, especially considering you're playing against a Neon who could just run you down at any moment. Got the Thrash time in perfect, didn't get the follow-up, team bailed him out. And crucially, another point to note, while we were talking about that fight over B main, that allowed Jing to be able to pick up the ult orb and get the showstopper online. So he was one away from it at the start of the round. I was talking about the fact I don't really like that trap play because it very rarely results in a kill unless you have the ult. But he used it to get the ult. He used that B main control really importantly to be able to come in here and help out something. 2 massive ultimates used though, and PACIFIC still trail by 1.
We couldn't kill him here.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Just disbelief. I mean, I was gobsmacked.
Something, of course, is worried that there's going to be other people holding him in that spot. That's why he didn't go for the wide swing. Here's a wide swing.
Yeah, we're not slowing down, are we? That's divide. Head clean off the shoulders of Kang. Jing from the side as well. And a slow orb drop down on top of the wall. The danger zone for EDG. Can't hold a candle to it.
And this is one of the first times where they've got the read perfect on where EDG were going to fight. They had so many players there. They 4-stacked the site that EDG decided to go towards. It just looks like you're going into a blender.
Yeah, and I don't know why EDG rushed into trying to take that fight through A main precisely. They've been playing these slow defaults and they've been working out a lot.
They have, yeah. They haven't really been going for that fast elbow control too much. At the same time, when there's that many PACIFIC players reading the play, I think even they're going for a slow approach. As long as they went A, PACIFIC were ready. It was like man versus combined harvester. Very unfair.
They're just chewed to pieces.
Oh.
That is cheeky.
TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this one before. I remember EG pulling that this year. There was an op in the hands, though.
I think they actually Omen teleported on top of the box to off it.
Oh, Smoky! Goodness me, Adjustment just spotting it. The res is online, though, so Divide will quickly be able to offset any of the disadvantages that came about from that.
But now, because of the TikTok wall, Divide doesn't have it for the retake. So if EDG get in, get the plant.
They're going in for it. Still, Forsaken was incredibly committed. Jing on top, on high ground, on from the box. Will be toppled.
I know exactly.
You can plant and play a B main post plant here. Normally you have to play aggressive, but with that wall gone, you can back up. And that's a huge advantage for EDG.
Now happily play for that one. Nobody has also got that ult in his back pocket with a Hunter's Fury. It's an extra layer of safety.
Right here.
Even onto the angle. The pings are flying forward, just trying to catch the line. Ensure that he doesn't miss any second of it. A tap. There's the ult. Paranoia from Smoggy. Then to supplement here. Mindfreak out into the open arms. Time start to run short. Mindfreak trying to hold this line as well, ensuring that they can try and get this defuse online. Something with the wingman broken. It's running away from them. Device leaping into the frame. Reload. Summon upstream. Something sticking. And defended entirely.
You did good.
What a fumble from EDG there. PACIFIC, that's the game they want to play. They're so practiced in those retake scenarios, but they didn't even have the Sage Wall to work with. You very, very rarely see multiple players in B main both desperately trying to slam the clip back into their gun so they have enough ammunition to work with to spam.
Oh, there it is. We're waiting for that. It's like we played a laugh track in the audience.
I'm not even sure what that was in reference to.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe the wall?
Possibly.
Yeah.
It might be because of that. They do sometimes pull things from prior rounds, but PRX have been just winning the last 3, so
Yeah.
got to assume it was something based on that. But that is, yeah, that's a round where EDG, I think, should have had their opportunity to play things their way.
Yeah.
Triple up, be able to force PRX to go into them. I guess one of the problems was they didn't have their own smoke. Normally when you get these big 5v5 post plants happening over towards B, the retake smoke that Mindfreak threw there is not that powerful because you just smoke it off yourself. One of the rare maps where you smoke yourself off from being able to see the spike.
Just so you can get in and potentially fight B main.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how it works, but...
Simon's one away from getting null command online. See whether they decide to fight heavy over B main to get that orb, because that's exactly where PRX want to fight. It's another opportunity where they could try to run this trap play. But again, if Forsaken ults this, I'm not sure you can follow up that easily. Gonna go for a bit of aggro control. Remember that PRX can occasionally go for like the wall on top of that box and, you know, peek into mid.
Yeah.
We've seen them do all sorts of weird stuff, so EDG have to be careful.
They do like to cook. Jing. Drone's been broken. Kang expected the swing. It was too suspicious, I think, when a drone gets broken in that regard.
Yeah. Read like a book. An easy book, a young adult novel.
Easily digestible. What is going on with this all? Okay, Rolling Thunder.
These are the kind of plays These are the kind of plays I hate from PRX, though. That is just such a waste of an ultimate.
Smelling a timeout being called from PRX's side.
Which makes no sense, because they've won 3 in a row.
But just to rein it in, get a bit of discipline back into the ranks. Forsaken. Got walkabouts here. Potential to be punished. No, now the reaction. EDG alongside it. Devi can hear these footsteps. Many circulating all around him. That's lovely adjustment of the rifle aim. Still, he's going to be paranoid. Up. Blinds it up. No noise cues. Nobody able to follow up on this one, though, with the solar orbs to defend him still. He just turns away at precisely the wrong moment, and EDG making sure that they capitalize directly on top of that one. That's now down to that 2 versus 3. Mindfreak and Forsaken. Up onto this retake.
Last player standing.
Forsaken dropping. Leaves it down to just Mindfreak. Spotted Simon's positioning. TP into the corner. Stray bullets from nobody. It's precarious and now unwinnable. As I say that, he's found himself a corridor, a window, but peek in the smoke. Nobody, just hugging tight to the corner.
A little sloppy there from PRX. Taking their foot off the gas maybe slightly, or just not prioritizing, perhaps, the big tools that they had to be able to win the round.
That's an insane play with the rolling one.
Yeah, they wanted B main info. I guess they thought that there were going to be some EDG players over there. And Devi did a decent job at staying alive in elbow. He just got caught at the final moment. A couple of duels got the way of EDG, and they're looking nice for it. We see the Gecko operator picked up over towards B main. And this is an area of the map PRX have put huge value on.
And he's hit it. Nails the shot. Nobody's going to be dropping straight to the floor. Jingdo, re-exploration, not set up by any form of utility.
Expecting EDG to be running those 4-1 defaults that I'm talking about. Actually, EDG have been more spread than usual today.
Yeah, another 2-3s. And a slower play of EDG. As I said earlier, it's what got them that string of 4 rounds prior. Paranoia now as they bide their time, wait it out, now send it forwards with the war, but it's something. Okay, Forsaken wanted to try and play himself inside of this. What an adjustment by Kang. Snaps it 90 degrees to the side, and now huge player advantage.
Mindfreak teleported past the first trip.
What more to deal with?
He would be hurt if he went for it here.
Yeah, he would, definitely. Something's got to pray that somebody will just walk into his sight line, crosshair placement. Trip's going to be broken off of that noise cue. The call hasn't been made. Wait, there's a back to these players. Back to back. Mindfreak. He finds it finally with the kill. Now there's a Paranoia. An attempt to play them back in, but a flash in kind. EDG stalling out. These PRX players just fall long enough, and Kang squares up. Wants more to that challenge. That's 3 in a round for him. Something Seoul job now just to try and save on to this operator.
And he's going to be keeping it into round 12. Is he? Oh. Yeah, He's just survived with it. EDG find another round, take the lead again, up 6-5. But I'm reminded of what Steele was talking about on the desk of looking like there were comms issues there for EDG. As soon as that trip was broken, Chishu should be aware there's somebody on the flank, and yet completely confused, didn't relay that over to Smoggy. Bizarre interaction. PaperX's economy, though, is not looking good here for the final round.
A round of this first half of Sunset. That's an open B site. Prime for the taking for EDG. The knife hasn't seen much. The dart even better. Doesn't get broken, so they know that the front section of B is entirely theirs. They'll send in the usual utility just in case.
Jing's got that showstopper online.
That's going to have to be the ticket, I think, for a chance of PaperX winning this round. That and a share of fame.
There.
He's really been trying to farm these orbs, and EDG have to play aggro, have to play on site.
They're straight up in through market. It's an aftershock and a slow orb as well. Kang is completely separated, isolated still, traded out. Head just peeking over. Chichu, he's still alive here for the moment. Tethered himself into the corner of the site with the operator in the hands of something as a Thrash earns up now to Fish. Sent flying forwards, detainment there, and it should be a kill. Collected indeed, it is! And any defense gets dismantled.
When you're watching what happened on Icebox, a 13-3 map, you wouldn't have expected both teams to be dead even here, but that's exactly what's happened. EDG have woken up, PaperX finding their moments to respond. We couldn't be more level at the half.
Yeah, it's just been unreal so far, living up to the expectations that we set on this matchup between two of these orgs that have so much damn history.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Stay in for the summer. And while 6 feet under, and I got that number, call her, keep falling like carousel, known to raise hell like I'm Tyrion and chainmail. Give me exhale, see the jaw drop, face smile like a bass head, Libra scale, balance both sides, and she do it well, so well, yeah. Raymond, ducking from the sun, doing okay then. All these feelings bottled inside like a house dog, bounty on the elbow, she'll get out the house, move, playing off the foul ball, you can stick around, girl. Bring fire from the world, I'm trying. I'm lost, only murmurs. Find time, yeah, find time. Unsure, stay in for the summer. Bring fire from her world, I'm trying. I'm lost, only murmurs. Find time if she's unsure. Find time, stay in for the summer.
6-6 evened up at the half here for Sunset, and it's, I want to say, more than signs of life, I think, for EDG, because it takes a lot of mental resilience to bring yourself back after getting smacked around on the opening map when your tournament life is in your hands. Not just that, it's like the expectations of your entire year potentially could have crumbled on this map, but they are still alive and still kicking.
And you might be tuning in thinking, why were they hyping up PaperX that much? Sure, 12-map win streak. You think PaperX fell out a coconut tree? They exist in the context of all the map wins that came before them. The 12-map streak.
What is Blood waffling about?
They're on the attack side here. Their attack side looks deadly in a lot of these spots. They're execs onto site. The pistol's going to be vitally important.
Yeah.
Take flight.
At least just for giving you momentum and starting to build up to massive ultimates on both sides of the map.
PaperX. No one holding this A-main avenue. It's not going to be pushed by Kang, of course, with the one-way in his face. Just looking to hold it. Nobody getting some information. Spotting the players now. Smoke's going to be cutting out off the picture from that one angle, and now call is made. They want to try and make a play now for the B split. Wall to give them safe passage. Be any spam going their way. Kawhi, I should say, even just trying to get cheeky himself. There's smokes to be played in and out of. Jing is way ahead of it. It's a stun layer down and a flash on top of it with the paranoia blinded up. Dart is there. This is chaos. This is anarchy. And EDG, they temper it, they control it, at least for the time being. A player advantage to be found. Device wrapping all the way from behind, but backs are turned, and EDG have lost the plot and lost track of all these players. They don't know which way to take it. Devi has potentially worked on something. 1v1, right click, not enough to do it. Simon, I called him the newcomer to this EDG squad, but he's done it again for them. He's been in these clutch scenarios over and over again.
When you're thinking about the way that PACIFIC and EDG are going to battle against each other, these are the rounds you remember back to in their 5 matches previous. And this is what you imagine it's going to be like the entire time. It's just bonkers. Yeah. EDG are going for a big retake, death balled up together, and PACIFIC have got flanks on their flanks. They're looking around. How many shots were just into the back of people's heads there? Twisted and turned around, and yet EDG come out on top. Somehow able to control the chaos. Truly absurd.
Yeah, and a huge deal for EDG. A lot of teams will get lost in the mix of that, where PACIFIC normally thrive. They've managed to take this pistol round out.
That is not great.
Yeah, the only thing past that is taking a pistol, you need to clean it up past this point, especially because Kang's just gone down.
They also haven't retrieved that gun. Smoggy didn't feel comfortable enough going forwards there in case he was walking into the stack, so they've left that weapon on the floor. I'm not sure that Devi can necessarily know that. He hasn't re-peeked it, but he's calling the rest of PACIFIC over to take this fight. Spectre still down, like a treasure to be gathered.
Pack mentality here from PACIFIC. Paranoia is perfect though. EDG have really made sure to pick and choose this timing. It's excellent. Shot nobody! Oh! The ace ripped away, but listen, eco kills at the end of the day. Nobody is 2 away now from the ult. And I did say it needed to be cleaned up after that point, and that was about as clean as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody had gotten the ace, he would only be 1 orb away from the ultimate. That's a really good ult for the defense side. So Smoggy doing a little bit of trolling, but that's okay.
All good. All good. They're going to be happy with that, I think.
Yeah, very happy. EDG are looking great here. They're also still going to have a decent economy heading into the next. Buying up 2 Bulldogs into this round. PACIFIC need this one. Like I said, it's been 12 in a row for them on Sunset. Oh, yeah. They easily beat EDG last time they played, but this time, Chinese team giving them more to worry about.
Trick just buying that safety net. Nobody's right through the smoke as well. Not expecting that timing. He's taken out 2 of them with just the Spectre in hand. He's working miracles over towards the B site and buying enough time for the rest of the team. What the hell is occurring here? Wingman up and over. Something with the plant still tapping. Paranoia is flooding through, and EDG, they want to take that fight. The skirmish is called for, and they swarm it in together.
Destroying PACIFIC, not giving them any respect on site. EDG are in as soon as the plant is tapped. Timeout called already by PACIFIC. I mean, look how aggro they are. Dodging that first wave of utility and immediately running back in. And Alex is not happy about the way he's played that.
Immediate timeout.
Whereas things actually sound quite casual on the side of EDG. But if you compare map 1 to map 2, of course they would be. It's nowhere near as bad.
Driving seat could bring it to that map 3 of Lotus. So far, so good. I mean, talking about these bonus round conversions, these pistol round wins, on the back of it, you just get so much momentum after this point. I mean, EDG have knocked down the economy of PACIFIC. They're now going to be working down with those half buys, not just that as well. You know, you think about how important some of these ultimates are for the attacking side. They're going to have less opportunities to build them because of that.
If you want to talk about the ults for a sec, nobody's got his Hunter's Fury online. So this next round we're going into is an anti-eco for EDG. Then the next rifle round, they'll have the Hunter's Fury to work with. Then the one after that, they'll get to Null Command before Jin gets to Showstopper, which means that Jin can't really use that ult. So the fact that you get this snowball happening at the start of halves it has ripple effects that happen all throughout the later rounds. It's not just the economy in the moment, not just the rounds you get on the board. Who gets to which ults first matters enormously. And at this point, EDG are massively in the driver's seat. It's going to take something special from PRX. But they are no strangers to pulling out miracle moments.
Now they've got that potential always there, ready and waiting. There's a punish, Kang. EDG, they heard that all being tapped, and it wasn't quite a tap, it was a full committal. That is quite an overextension potentially there from Nobody, but he uses the drone to clear this through as well. Shock darts up and over, something peppered with the bullets, but still alive. Even reclaiming the rifle. I always get a little bit scared, I think, when you open up mistakes or give up plays and players like that, where Kang's just going down, handing over a weapon to a team like PRX. And it's an open A site as a result of it.
Forsaken has not been getting that aggressive. I'm not sure he realizes they're playing a retake at the moment.
Can't use this yet.
If you work your way up a little deeper and you spot trips in certain positions, it can be a read. They're trying to fake A, re-hit B, but there's no one even on the A site to know they're faking.
Yeah, EDG here. Still want to try and hold their ground. Look at that, Nobody. Ensures that there will be nobody crossing that main area. And most of the danger evaporates with those few kills. Now the rifle is still alive in Mindfreak's hands. Map control has been lost, but with only 17 seconds to do it, the time pressure is probably just going to be a little bit too much here for these players. Forsaken holding in case there is that peak.
Forsaken doesn't want to keep a sheriff.
No, and he will be falling anyway. 8 seconds here. Does Mindfreak even... You've got to commit to this. Taps. Okay. Just looking to do damage, take some guns out of their hands, maybe keep this rifle. One of his own, he doesn't.
Not going to hurt him too much. Take a look at this shot from something. It's not bad. Kang's facing there into 3 players though. Bit off a little more than he could chew in that round, but it did not hurt them. Up to 10 for EDG. They've had a blistering open to this defense half. Just had the read on PRX. PRX like to run a lot of fast rounds, and EDG have had the answer. Dial up the tempo themselves on the retakes.
Looking all the more likely that we end up heading over towards Lotus. Knife not broken. Simon gets the info. There's at least 2 players playing there as well. This is something just exploring mid, essentially alone. I mean, he is.
Trap play on A, by the way. Cam takes contact towards where Forsaken is positioned, and they previously had a paranoia set up. They've decided to abandon that. Cam gets broken, and now they're on their own. Dual re-clear through elbow. But PRX are not really putting good pressure on the A site. EDG are able to retake this spot fairly easily, give themselves good info. PRX are heavily favoring B. And EDG have had the read.
Oh, and a knife is good as well from Simon once more. It's going to pull players from EDG back over. And the smokes
Cover going out.
now going to be sent out here. This is Mindfreak. Rest of PRX trying to follow the cues.
Did they go for the Sova ult?
There's 40 seconds left here. Wingman with the plant. It's an unusual position for it as well. Maybe just trying to play ahead of the Hunter's Fury, but the plan goes down without any problem. Still that backside control as well, but a Hunter's Fury to try and play these players in EDG. They have that advantage once more with the players! PRX, they can't stand against it. They get extinguished as they're just trying to pull towards the back of the side. Something weaving in and out past this wall, but he's only one man. What can you do in this spot? Up and over with the Dizzy. Nobody's defusing because he knows he's got that safety net. His teammates holding, and hold they will. Safe hands from Chichu. 11th round now for EDG. Once more the money. It's going to be awkward for PRX. The losers bonus is definitely starting to accrue, but EDG, at this point, they are almost fated to go to that map 3.
EDG got a flurry of kills here when they were on the retake. Towards the back of Boba, PRX trying to force the fight. And EDG not going in as quickly as they had done in previous rounds, but mopping up just as easily.
Right here.
Nobody picks up the Odin as well, which is going to melt through that Sage Wall. Something they could have gone for on Icebox, never opted into.
Fast play is called up. Thrash not seeing much in terms of the backside. chewed up there by the trap wire. Wingman sent flying forwards here for the plant. Bullets spraying and praying away. Not enough to push back that plant, but the res is online, so something's back into the fight and into the skirmish. They want to try and hold it down, but now retreating out back and away here. There's a flank time from Forsaken potentially there, but he's miles away at that. And EDG already in position here. Primed.
First passive post plant for PRX.
Showstopper sent out into the hands of Jing.
Simon's
Satchel
dead.
At his feet. A tap from nobody. And the angle from Chichu won't be safe from that one. He was seeing if he could do some of that damage ahead of time. Still nobody committing onto this one, but Smoggy might have just returned that favor. Back at it with the kills flying through. Forsaken by trying to buy time with a flank. Already there. Everybody's down and out, but time. It worked against him in the end with that hourglass just running dry. So PRX get up to 7.
But it's a bittersweet victory there for PRX. Their economy is going to be garbage coming out of this.
Yeah.
A tragic situation. The first time that they chose to play a passive post plant instead of trying to fight on site. And it worked. But then Smoggy killed everybody and has ruined their economy heading into the next round. They're going to be coming in with 2 Guardians, no Boombot, no Mosh, only 1 slow, no Paranoia.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They're prioritizing the weaponry, but their util is really missing.
Trying to keep the morale up as well. Just hearing Jing towards the end there. Just again, another rapid approach. This is Mind Freak. Just wandering. He's a nomad at this point. There's no one to play off of this one. The jump spot. Oh, miscommunication again. It rears its head. And Mind Freak will rip them off. Chichu now has to take risks. He knew he had to play the forward angle, just hoping that somebody would just walk into him from the main position. But at this point, PRX sealed up and stolen this round away.
Is that the kind of issue that's just going to get PRX 1 round, though, and EDG quickly cover it? Or is that indicative of a larger problem that might allow PRX back in? This is a larger problem.
Yeah.
The fact that Smoggy is just killing everybody.
You have to keep these guns. I mean, the economy is just too good for EDG. You're not even doing economical damage at this point.
And also, you're only really getting 3K plus the spike plant.
Oh, Kang knows. Kang knows. Overdrive, wait. They can still make a play for this one. Smokes up.
No way.
No chance.
What a
Mind Freak.
throw.
He's got to spam and spray this one away. Defended. No way. Mind Freak. From the brink.
There's no way. Just utter relief. A quick shake of the head. That would have been a devastating toss of epic proportions. Mind Freak opens, Mind Freak closes. Everything in the middle was incredible trolling. That's technically a Red Bull clutch from Mind Freak. Should never have been. And I think the desk deserved that one. But look what it's done to the economy again. Double Guardians. At least this time they can pick up a bunch of util, but there's no flashes on Forsaken.
It's just scraps that you're working with if you pay preps.
So rough.
Pure scraps. And you're leaning on the individuality to bail you out once more. The deep mid push by EDG, all that information.
First time, no Sentinel.
Exactly. Not in a traditional sense. And Mind Freak's back is wide open to the wall. The Rolling Thunder to clear out most of this side as well. This game of timings, but Mind Freak is not going to expect this one as well because, well, a flash, hold on. Forcing it out, and he does at least collect the one here. Forsaken, he's got to try and stem this bleeding. There's a cage up into his face with the bullets. Flying forwards here. Bits and pieces of lead. Suppression, though, across the board. No abilities to be playing with. Pure gunplay has to try and reign supreme and save the day for them, but there's that uncertainty in the step of the PRX players. Wall up from Devi. Simon will go down, at least post-mortem. It's the ult that just fades away. The player positioning from EDG, it should be known, should be noted, but they're putting a squeeze now entirely onto these players. And individuality will not save something, not out of that spot. Great movement from Chichu. And the 12th round, tallied up, added to the total. EDG now, they can feel it. They're on the brink.
A really nice call from EDG on a round where not all of them had full weaponry. And PRX struggled enormously to get into good post-plant positioning there. They're all in solo spots. That's allegedly a Dizzy flash that catches onto Kang Kang.
Oh my.
According to the assist, not that I saw it at all. But PaperX were very slow, like I said, to transition into good post-plant spots there. They didn't play off device contact. They left him until last alive. Big errors creeping into PaperX's game. After winning 13-3 on map 1, it looked done, it looked dusted. And yet EDG rise from the ashes, still with a chance of going to playoffs.
That's what is at stakes here for both of the teams. I mean, of course, elimination. Saying it all day long, but to make playoffs.
Cage triggered.
Last team to do it at that. Into the B split. Thrash. There's the way, and paves a path open through into market. Trips gonna be tangled and Gorging, who's alert there, I believe, potentially by some trips, and it's played off of beautifully. EDG are right into it, and they want to try and shut this down immediately. Hunter's Fury, peek by Forsaken. There's the punish. 3 left to stand. Insane mechanics, but it matters not against the hand and steady aim of Kang.
13-8. What a resounding flip compared to last time we saw these two teams clash on Sunset. In Shanghai, in front of a home crowd, EDG got beaten 6-13. And now they're here for revenge, breaking a 12-map streak from PaperX.
And willing to take it to that map 3 as well. Their last chance, the Bastion, to even make it to the playoffs. It's still anyone's game, you gotta think as well, but my God, has it been explosive.
Started from the bottom, you know where we going.